Hello everybody, this is John Hardy bringing you the business tip of the day to bring answers to the challenges that you face and put some practical tools and resources into your hands so you can live a transformed business and do business better. It's so good to do. So what I'd like to do is I really want to aim this at some of our startups, and there's lots of them happening almost every day. Somebody is starting or some bodies are starting a business that you're listening to 101 Media Group and listening to the Coach's Corner or listening to what I'm doing with business tips. And you're asking, how can these help me? Because sometimes they're a little bit further down the track than where I am. So I remember, and I'm about to start my 17th year as a coach, come November this year. But I remember when I first started, I didn't have any clients. You know, I've got a name for my business, registered like you do with the government agencies, set up the accounts, but they were just set up, there wasn't anything in them. And I had to get clients. But there's one thing that I did, I want you to remember this. Keep your job. So I'm aiming this at startups or small businesses, and they're wondering about launching out into the deep and wondering, will I make it? So what I did when I first started, I got some really cool contracts, but it wasn't quite abundant income for the business, etc. I went out and I cleaned car parks and offices. And I did that probably for the first 2 years of my business. And I kept my job. It wasn't the job I was doing previously, but the point was I had a job that was undergirding the income stream for my business. So whether you are in sales or whether you're in an organization already, and there's ways to step out of that and step into what you want to do in a full-time dynamic, is keep your job. Because what that does for you and for your family and for your resources, it continues to bring cash into your environment. And cash is king and cash is powerful. And it will help you a great deal on some of the expenses that you are going to incur as a business operator in the big wide world of exciting dynamics of running and starting a new business and getting it going, and all the dynamics that go with that. So you will have cash for the business, you will have cash for your living, you will have cash to put aside for your ongoing development of your business. So I want you to understand, if you're in that dynamic, unless you've got a big contract and it's just got you up and going, but most small businesses, most startups don't have that capacity. Oftentimes I've found that either they keep their job or they have a partner, their spouse, who's in a really good job, and that is undergirding them, so they've kept that whole dynamic of income coming into their family and into their home and into their world. It really, really is important to understand what that will do for you, and the relaxation that you will know that, yes, I've got to go out there and do my client thing, I've got to engage with new prospects, and I've got a whole bunch of really powerful resources to talk through with businesses on, and I'm looking forward to you to stay in contact with me, keep listening to these podcasts, and connect with us via email, because we want to help you with the areas of challenges that you face and the dynamics of what's going on in your world. And so I found, for me, it really helped me know that I had some contracts, I had some work I was doing in evenings and on a Saturday morning, and I really quite enjoyed doing it because I know I was looking after my family and looking after my future. And it wasn't long before you do the hard work. The business really does take care of itself. It pays the business expenses. You can take drawings, owner's drawings from that. You can employ people to help you, either outsourced or insourced into your organization, and it really is quite powerful for you to do that. So the question, the business tip, what challenges are you facing? And sometimes we do this. We overextend ourselves, and then where we perform is much lower. And what happens then is, and some of you are experiencing that right now, is you're experiencing disappointment. So if you listen to what I'm saying, keep that job, let it undergird what you're doing, watch the difference of peace and tranquility it will do for you. And especially guys, it will really be a blessing to your wife, your spouse, really will help her understand the power of what that will mean for you, and that you're thoughtful, you're strategic, you know you're planning really well. So John Hardy bringing you the business tip of the day: keep that job. Thank you so much. We'll be back again with another tip, so stay tuned.